Here we are back with part 2 of the Mineral Collection by LEGO Ideas. This is set number 21362, contains 880 pieces, retails for $59.99, and the set was provided by the LEGO Group for early review. Thank you, LEGO. And yeah, so far I've built this right here, and I'm pretty much bored with this set, and I'm just being honest. And what we're looking at here, and I got to look at the first manual for a reference here because I can't remember the stones. I'm not a rock collector. This one here I believe is Pyrite, and then the one below this one here is the watermelon Tourmaline, if I'm pronouncing that right. And yeah, that's essentially what it is we've done so far with this stand. And the build quality's average. We've experienced some of these transparent pieces scratched. I mean, these are scratched, so I'm going to say this is bottom of the barrel here in terms of parts. So I'm giving it an 8 just due to packing. Build quality's average, like I mentioned, but the set is just lacking play features. This is just more of a trophy item than anything else. So we're doing the Amethyst and the what is that? Rhodochrosite? I don't know. I'll have it indexed. Looks like redstone from Minecraft, where you'd punch it or walk on it and it would change colors. Tangerine Quartz, and then the Fluorite right here. Fluorite, well, that's in a later build. But today we're going to be focusing on these two items. So I'll have it indexed and stuff, but like I said, I'm not too interested in this build. And I'll keep that book open for reference. But it does come with the Brick Separator, which is really cool, and the bags are numbered. Instructions are easy to follow for something like this. It's not terribly bad. Okay, let's begin. Let's build it with bag 3. Now, just as a disclaimer, I'm not a professional product reviewer. These are not to be construed as professional how-to videos or anything like that. These are just meant for fun, so that's what they're for. But we've noticed one thing. Uh-oh, these are going to probably be scratched. Let's slide that out of the way here. That this set is rather on the dry side unless you're into collecting rocks or minerals. And it's not really what... I mean, it didn't look too exciting on the box, but building this, it's not too exciting at all. I'm trying to like it, but this is not one that I would say would work for me. This is more like somebody's mock than anything else. Well, it's a LEGO Idea set, so obviously so. But I'm not too interested in it. And now we can start working on the frame. Yeah, these are kind of interesting. We could use these for waterfalls, huh? We'll slide that off to the side there. Now, one thing I'm looking for right now is to set a collaborative build. I don't know, and I've never seen these inverted pieces like this in this color. It'd be kind of good for maybe making, maybe behind a waterfall, or maybe an ice cave or a snow cave would be kind of cool. Now, when I built the last one of these, and I looked ahead in the book, they look like they're about the same. Before we do, let's start pulling out the glass parts in here. Well, this one here came without a scratch. That's good news. That's not bad. About this one, it's got some pits. That's not good. Jay, you inspect every part. No, just parts that are interesting. Okay, we'll drop it down to a 7 because of that. Like I said, it sets just the review. It does the whole thing as a whole. I'm not grading on if it's an interesting build for me. I'm grading on, you know, how's the set packed? Does it come with the Brick Separator? Is the instructions easy to follow? Am I making mistakes that could be avoided? We don't know yet. But yeah, somebody will take this seriously. But you know, hey, what the hey? What the hey, you know? But I'm more or less just trying to give it a whirl here. And this is like my second idea set that I've been sent. And this one here, I mean, it's just for a small audience. Okay. But I mean, it is what it is. So these actually do that. So that's not too terribly bad there. Okay, so this one here uses slightly different parts. I'm looking for 1x8s. These are 1x10s. Let me make sure here. Am I doing this right? Yes, it shows dark brown 1x8s. Huh. Well, I got some 10s. Let me make sure I'm counting. I'm not being a bonehead today. Yeah, that's 8. 2 1x8s. Did we just not pack them up? I'm hoping I'm not doing the wrong bag here or the wrong book. Well, let's make sure. Am I doing something careless here today? Oh, I'm doing bag 5. Oh, well, we'll do it out of order then. Or I could just save it. Yeah, I mean. Okay, this is bag 5 actually. My bad. So we're doing the interesting. We're doing bag 5. Well, let me find the reference book. So we're doing these right here. So bag 5 it is. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm so lost right now. Okay, for those who say I complain too much, if it's a set I'm not interested in, trust me, I'm not. Okay, I think that's it. So, okay, let me pull these off here. So we're not ready for that. Yeah, so for those, like I said, watch the whole entire installment because now I am not going to be too friendly on that. That's a nice part. Somebody says I make a bunch of careless mistakes. These are not reliable. I now have been on a hiatus of blocking people. So if I make an honest mistake, just watch the whole thing because, yeah, I make tons of mistakes in these. And, ooh. That's okay if we make mistakes. It's like I'm gluing it together and that's it. You know. But anyways, though, you could tell I'm not interested in this one. And today, okay, today is the 9th of September 2025. It's in the same day as the first installment. And yeah, I've been working on a game emulator. I got it more or less working. I'm just kind of wanting to put my retro games on my iPad. So I'm doing just that. I'm doing just that. Okay, we got that done. So we're right back on bag 3, whatever, I don't know. And pretty much, it's a lot of programming just to get an old school Nintendo game working. And no, Nintendo, you can't get me because these are the carts that I own. I had to dump the ROMs into my computer. So you can't point fingers. And since I own the playing content, I'm only playing it at my house. I'm not streaming it because I know how Nintendo is. They don't like us streaming their video games. So they lose out on a free review, which older games are always fun to play anyways. Remember, it's like the record companies. They shoot themselves in the foot and they complain that nobody likes their music. Well, how are we supposed to know? I'm looking for... Okay, that's what I'm looking for. But for the most part, though, it's not bad in terms of if you're interested in this set. It's only a bad set just because I'm not interested in something like this at all. And I'm already getting the yelling and screaming already. Yeah, not too bad at all here. We're gonna see if we can get this going here. You know what? I'm wondering if I made a mistake on that one. No, I did not. Okay. I'm checking. Because there's people out there who watch these and they construe them as professional product reviews and how-to tutorials. So I got to be careful. Why? I don't know. Alright, so we're using these here as the anchor points. If this is the same one as that one, and then yeah, but I think this one's going to be a collaborative build. That might be the only thing that will save this set here from doom in terms of packing quality. I bet, ooh, that comes in purple. That's kind of cool. I bet the guy who made this never thought I would be reviewing his set, and well, his interpretation, or Lego's interpretation of his set. And yeah, okay, hold up, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, we just got that put in there. Okay, now we got to put the flap windows in backwards. I think these are just meant to be like little display, you know. Unlike the older windows that fit in the middle, these kind of fit upside down. You can put them either way. Lego's gotten to be more, you know, like some of their parts are more general. You can use them in different methods and stuff. This does kind of remind me of going into this museum we used to go to when I was a kid. If anybody ever heard of Morro Bay, they have this museum by the Morro Bay campground, and they used to have stuff like this from sea life and stuff, which was really cool to go through. That's probably the only thing I could think of is a museum type thing, and that's what it kind of given me off on vibes. There was another museum that I went through. I think it might have been in town that had something similar to this. It was mostly due to farming and agriculture, what they would find, so not too terribly bad. And yeah, that part is done there. Okay, now it looks like we're doing the top portion of the frame. But if you're looking for something with a lot of transparent parts, I think this set people are going to be scarfing just for the pieces. You know, like I said though, if I were to do my own builds on Lego ideas, just imagine one of my big houses. And those have more like a sentimental value. They're not really meant to be a tutorial. People ask me for tutorials on certain things, like that public bathroom, the sand green one. That was from a campground that I used to go to. And I don't know, I thought the architecture was kind of cool on it. It was just basic center block, and yeah. But it was never meant to be a tutorial, but I'm getting people asking about, can I build that into a tutorial? I could. But you're talking a very big build, and two, I had one person scream at me about there's no building guide for it. It was never meant to have a building guide. I am going to do a building guide on it, but right now I'm swamped with set reviews, and these have to come first before these are on a deadline. My tutorials are not. So like I said, building guides are way down the road. I haven't got any new offers, so maybe that's the good thing about the tariffs. I can slow down finally, not have to worry about getting other things going here. But well, and as far as for those Creator 3-in-1 sets, they're all packed. Whoops, it doesn't go there. They're all packed up, so I'm just waiting to obtain some free time, and then we will do that. And Lego, you need to come out with a 1x10 flat tile, would be a very big help. They got this nice display case. But no, we were talking about this in the last installment, but we think these little shelves are going to be weak. No, they're not weak. These are built, I'd say, built pretty good. It's how the rocks are attached are kind of average. But I think this is just meant to be a group build. There's really only one person can only build one unit. I thought they were separate units, but no. I was really hoping for that. And then now we gotta let these two get situated with each other here. We're going to start sticking this in here. And, you know, we were talking about how weak these would be, but no. I'm not displeased with the quality of the shelves. That's what they are. They're meant to sit like that. And yeah, that takes care of the shelving unit there. Not too bad at all. Okay, now we're moving on to what I believe is the fluorite. It's all this blue stuff. That's the only one here. And yeah, let's see if we can get that going. But yeah, I have some that take these so seriously, and I'm like, really? You know, this is meant to be fun. I've had some that tell me, Jay, I take Lego very seriously. If you take Lego seriously, then don't come over here, because I goof off when I build. A lot of my tutorials and how-tos that you see me build on my main channel are just projects that I goof off building. I don't have them. They're not planned builds. They're just like, I'm just going to mess around a little bit with just some parts. Next thing you know, an idea will just snap into my head, and then I'm just going ham on it. And I already have an idea. Like, I will just start piecing things together with no rhyme or reason. Whether if it's using stud or real bricks, I just start, you know, doing that. And then just come in here and start building things. But I know there's a message that one of you had sent to me about checking out your ideas project. I'll have to respond back to you. I've been kind of forgetting. I've been so swamped with work, family issues, all that stuff. For those who've been long-time viewers, you know, when I started all this out, this was just meant for fun. And now with having a family to take care of and stuff, I just do not have free time. It's like, where did it go? What? No transparent purple studs? Oh, well, Lego, that's depressing. I was expecting more. But I don't think I've ever seen transparent slope pieces in purple. So that might be a first for me. So this set's got some new parts. There was one, this guy had some, he built a new idea and he had some newer parts in it. Parts that I would dream to have. I can't tell you what this gentleman's building because that's under his own copyright and I don't want to mention it here. It's a project that I'm not too familiar with, but it has some really good parts. So I'm hoping that does get passed through so we can get those parts. But I'm always game for new things to do, and yeah. So it looks like we get one of these inverted slopes here. Yeah, so my little game emulator's been working pretty good. Basically, it's just meant to where if I'm laying in bed and I don't want to get up and do anything, I can just sit back, nestle under the covers with a game controller, and play Super Mario or something like that, you know. And before anybody says anything, no, I do not have a Switch. Well, I have an old Switch, but not a Switch 2 or anything, so there's that. You know, that kind of thing here. And it looks like right here. We're putting together a lot of small parts. I mean, these are pretty to look at when they're done, but I'm looking at certain, you know, attributes for a set, like play value, build experience. And like I had said, though, for something like this, if this is targeted for a very small build audience here in terms of, you know, interest. Because how many of us in here are rock enthusiasts? I'm not, by all means. Like I said, I'm into vacuum tubes. And then after that, this goes right here. Okay. Not too bad. This one's kind of pretty though. And you know what? This could be labeled more or less as an educational toy. So this would have educational value, which is pretty cool. But a lot of people, including myself, I don't want to be educated. I want to build. But there's got to be some learning involved in everything. Lego already teaches learning, educational with learning. It's called, everybody cooperates with one another. We have to express different ideas, accept new ideas, and challenges. That's the thing Lego always does. And two, since we got multi-build sets, we all got to learn to cooperate and build together, to build things together as a group, get along, cooperation. That's the good thing about Lego. I think this is more of just a, what I'm seeing this being built more as? In an institution, like a school or something. This is more or less an educational build than anything. Nothing wrong with that if you're into that. There's always a wealth of knowledge out there, regardless of what it is. And like I said, let's just get your hands dirty into, I think it's archaeology, I'm not sure. We know it's not biology, because I know that was a nightmare for me in school. Didn't like it too much. Now these little pieces here, these are good for, imagine water just coming down a little bit of a hill, like a little creek or something. That would be a nice part to kind of get a hold of more. So this set here, like these, would be perfect for water. And just kind of mix these in right here. That would be really good. Oh, these come in purple now, like trans purple. All right, that means I'm going to have to slurp some of those up there. Jay, you're going all fanboy on this one. Well, the parts I am. The build's not fun, but at least I'm finding parts here. Now, these are mirrored, and how I know that is the book kind of shows it. But if you're not interested in something like this, or you get it as a gift, the worst thing that can happen is you just don't like it. There's always that question, Jay, my grandparents bought me a Lego set I don't like. What do I do with it? Just build it. Just build it. Because it could be something that you're interested in after all. Like this, like I said, I'm not too interested in. But that goes in like that right there. But for me personally, though, it's not a bad build. It's just something I'm not interested in. I'm mostly going after Lego here on the packing quality. That's starting to look like something, huh? I know we have a few gold mines out here, but you have to get the property owner's permission and you have to sign up things. Depends on who you ask. Then you have to go in with a bunch of equipment and stuff, and what I was reading up on it, doing mine explorations, and yeah, that's it's something I really don't want to get into. And you take a wrong turn, you're going to fall, or things will fall on you, and that would not be very fun. Let's just say if that happened, I will not be having a very good day. But I try to keep this channel as positive as I can, even if it's something that I'm not in. It's like that Mecha Team Leader. I gave that one a chance, and I'm going to tell you, I hated that set. That was not fun. This one here, I'd say, is a lot better than the Mecha Team Leader. And at least this one here is more of a collaborative build. That fits in there. Just snaps in there. Here. Okay, if it doesn't fit in all the way, just wiggle it in. Looks like it's supposed to fit right in here. I think I got it in there. It's not coming out, obviously, but it's fitting in there kind of weird. What if I... Okay, hold on. This is not... I'm going to peel this... I'm going to push this out a little bit right here. I'm going to shove that back in there. There we go. That did it. Well, no, that didn't do it. That pushed that right out of the way there. I'll just have to keep this down and just kind of sandwich that in there. Now it's staying in there. All right. And that's goes on the top here on the display shelf. And let's see here. At least it's outfitted with tubes for attaching to the bottom here. But that's what it looks like right there. And this is what we have remaining. But I have two of these purple ones, so I forgot something somewhere. Let's see if we can see any studs here left open. Did I forget to put one there? Yes, I did. Well, we'll put that right in there. Okay. And that's what that is. So that is the fluorite. Honestly, that's pretty to look at there. Not too bad at all. Not too bad. And this is what we have remaining. Okay, now we are moving on to bag 4. And while I'm getting everything situated here, I want to thank everyone on my main channel for being contributors. That's always a big help. It inspires me and to gather up the parts for making new and more exciting Lego builds. I want to say thanks to all my Patreon subscribers and Rebrickable customers. It's also a big help. And of course, if you can't do any of those, you can always subscribe, drop a comment, leave a like, and yeah, just hang out pretty much. And everything helps. So a little bit for everybody. Well, obviously we know which one we're building here. This is the Tangerine Quartz. That I can at least pronounce. Yeah, but every little contribution helps, and it's all completely voluntary. You don't have to, you know. Well, I need orange transparent bricks, but these are not quite what I was looking for. But they're good for something. We also got some light nougat. And let's see if we can get this one breezed through here. I'm trying to index things in such a way that it would be easy for you, the viewer, to follow. Shows it's sparkling. Is it gold? Yeah, that is gold, all right. That right there. Not too bad. And I'm always looking for slopes. That's in medium nougat, so maybe one day we'll get a few more of those. Let me pull this in a little bit more here for you to see. Yeah, so I'm glad you all get to enjoy these little adventures with me, and the rants and the complaining and stuff. You know, that's always an added bonus, or maybe a curse, we don't know, but at least I get to share my build experience with you guys and gals, and we can build along together. Even though some sets are just not winners, we can still have fun doing this stuff. That's the whole intent. And something like this, like I said, this is more of an educational build. I just don't like to fail sets for scratched and dinged parts. Like I said, when I do these, these are all meant to be, I don't fail sets type deal. I think it goes like that. It's just, I get irritated with Lego sometimes when... Is that supposed to be like that? Apparently looks like it is there. Well, I hope the book didn't make any mistakes. Well, I was told they use AI to write the books, but when I sell my building guides, they're all written by me. I hand check every page just to be sure that it's not something crazy that's not achievable. And two, all my builds are built with real bricks when I'm done, just to make sure that you're not getting some flaky old build that's going to fall apart after 5 uses, you know. It's like that camper I was wanting to build. Just simply, I just don't have the right parts, and two, it's not really stable. It'd be good as a display piece, but not really as a playable model. And okay, what happened here? Oh, it goes like that. Okay. And then this sits here. I'm hoping I'm covering every angle for you. This one's not too bad to build. It's a lot of interesting colors of parts. So, but at first the color palette started off kind of boring, but the color palette is making the build a bit more enjoyable. It's just, I think this set is meant to be built as a group build. It doesn't tell you. It does not tell you if it is a group build. If it is, then that's even better. Right now we're at a 7, and ooh, it comes with more of those too, the half-broken ice cubes. Is there any more? No, I'm greedy. I want more Lego. Don't send me more of those. Send me the whole thing of transparent parts so I can build cool stuff with them. Matter of fact, make a whole house out of transparent pieces. No, they won't do that. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed since I've been promoting the, what you call it here, the donations thing, I noticed it's been spiking up, which is cool. So, but somebody did ask me, and I'll say it again, what do I do with all that? That's going to go towards bigger tutorials, bigger mocks. That means things could be free. But I got to think on how I want to do that right now. I'm thinking more, if I do something bigger, it will go towards that, but I don't know how I'm going to do it all yet. But right now, contributions are just that. They're just, it's up to you, you know. It's you can do it or you don't have to, you know. Are you telling me that'll stick on there? It doesn't stay on there for me. It doesn't really say where that goes. It shows an arrow here, but wait a minute. You know what? It's supposed to go... What am I doing here? Hold on, I'm really messing up here, am I? Take this off here. Okay. That goes there. Oh, wait a minute. I got these backwards. Somebody's probably yelling at their screen right now. Don't take it serious. Okay. And guys, I gotta have fun with that, because some do. It looks like this goes here. But that doesn't fit in very well. Oh, that's not turned. Just remember to rotate that piece right there. It should be fine. Alright. Alright, now we got to take one of these here and we got to cake all this on here. Anybody ever watch that TV show Fringe with the amber? That's kind of what this reminds me of here. That amber they would spray because of the, I don't know, what are those guys? The observers would come in, so they had a way to freeze them or to keep them from coming in or something to patch up the leaks in the world. I don't know. I haven't seen Fringe in so long. And then this goes right on there. Like that. Oh, we're getting somewhere, huh? Alright, so it's the same thing with this one here. Now, speaking of this is more like Halloween colors. Halloween is coming up. I already got some builds for Halloween. I've got some ideas for next year's Halloween. But it depends on the views. I may be inclined to release a few more Halloween builds for next year, but if you're on my memberships, you can see them early. So it's like that. Let me plug that in there for you. Sure that's all pressed down. Looking pretty cool. I got more crystals to add. So we put the yellow ones at the bottom here, and then the white ones at the top. So we're going to start with the yellow ones first. I'm looking for these pieces, these big ones in clear, and I only have one clear one, maybe two, I don't know. But I need them, and they're not, I don't have them. Due to tariffs and the country being isolated from the rest of the world, we don't have a whole lot of options. So I'm just like trying to find some parts the other day, and I can't even get a hold of them for any cool builds. But I have substitute parts. But I don't really want to just use substitutes because I want to build with the real. I don't want to lose that. I don't have any of these in that color. I want to build with real bricks, not with just doing it on a computer program, but right now that's all we have. Alright, this goes on the top here. I think, but it shows, yeah, right. Okay, we're not done yet. I'm going to get this one here going here. We're almost done with this build installment, and I think, I don't know, I may just come in and do the whole nickel and dime thing tonight. Depends on how much memory card I have. Now I've been cleaning off, oh, there's a transparent piece. I've been cleaning off a bunch of memory cards, so I should not have that issue. Matter of fact, I don't have any videos left to edit, so I got to start filming because I saw this one. I thought, oh, is it still keeping my interest? No, this is not keeping my interest. I'm not really too involved in this here. This goes in here like that. Okay, and then we got to build a shorter one here. But I'm not here to trash talk the author of the set. You know, I'm not saying I'm the best builder in the whole wide world. I consider myself average. My mocks are too big. They're not boring enough, and they're too big to be on ideas. And two, well, I really leave that to my audience to decide if they want that on there. I've had some say, why don't I submit ideas? I just don't want to lose my rights to my builds. And that's it for the quartz. We have a bunch of slopes here. Okay, which one of these am I forgetting here? So we have one extra of those. That's what we have remaining there. What am I missing here? Let's see. Did we forget to crown off a stud here? Sometimes they'll send me extra parts, but LEGO doesn't send stuff out of the kindness of their heart. I'm checking here. That's all transparent. I got that there. Sometimes if you got extra pieces and something doesn't look right, check your work. Yeah, I don't see anything missing in here. I really don't. Oh, I do. All right, I'm going to pop this out. This piece here is actually supposed to be the nougat. And if you make a mistake, good luck. At least it comes with the brick separator, but that brick separator is not going to be any of help in there. Now, did I have to worry about that? Would have anybody ever known? No. I would know. So I'm going to put that where it's supposed to be. There we go. And now I got the right amount. Okay. Now we got to put it together. Okay. And then that takes care of that. Now this goes in here. Okay. And does it matter which way it goes in? That's totally up to you. There's a little stub. We'll put it in there and try to get it as centered as we can. It looks pretty good. And these are just tacked in there, so be very careful. Like this one here, I feel like it's ready to fall out. I mean, I think they're just meant for you to put them in like, you know, like little trophy racks and stuff. So I got to hold on to that. But all in all, though, I mean, that one's done. At least it's got some. It's starting to get color into it. And that concludes this section of the build. Summation of Thoughts. Well, this is what they both look like together. And yeah, I mean, if you're interested in this, yeah, this would be a good gold mine here. It looks unique. I'm not going to lie, but building it's not terribly fun. I'm not really having a good time with this one, but at least it's interesting looking nonetheless, but it's not quite my style. But now we've taken care of the fluorite and the Tangerine Quartz. Now we have to do the Amethyst and the Rhodochrosite. Call it sheetrock or drywall, maybe. I don't know what that is. Call it redstone. Yeah, I mean, it's a good educational set for an institution, but for somebody like myself who's interested in building like cityscapes and landscapes, even the botanical sets are really fun, but this one here, not so much. But tell me what you think so far.